Ya Ali Madeh. My name is Ali Khan Qasim, and it is a pleasure to speak to you all at Get Fresh this year on behalf of the Aga Khan Education Board. First of all, huge congratulations on getting a place at university. This past academic year has been challenging, and you have all demonstrated such resilience and determination. This presentation will focus on tackling changes to learning in higher education. While the shift to online learning in this past academic year may have been difficult, you can reflect on this and think about how it may prepare you to tackle changes to learning in higher education. So let's start off by thinking about some of the changes to learning that there may be at university. There will be a variety of teaching methods. Not everything will be classroom-based as you have been used to. There will be lectures and seminars, which will be with much smaller groups and will provide an opportunity to discuss and present ideas, as well as tutorials, which may take place in small groups or one-to-one with a university tutor. There will be more opportunity for learning, which takes place outside of the classroom setting. This is, of course, dependent on the course which you are studying, but you could find yourself attending lab sessions and practical workshops, attending field visits, or even attending work-based learning placements, and in some cases, particularly in the field of health and the field of education, these may form a large proportion of your course over a particular given time. You will need to consider how you can make the most of these learning opportunities, which may seem less formal than you are used to. There will also be a number of deadlines and assessments. I'm sure you will have all heard that university requires you to become independent and self-sufficient. There is a greater reliance in higher education on your ability to manage your time and to understand what is expected of you for each module that you study. When thinking about assessments, you may complete assessments which you have never completed before, and you may produce assignments which have a greater word count than you have previously produced. It is important not to get overwhelmed by this, and remember that thousands have been in your position before, and that universities are well equipped to support all students, irrespective of the course which they are studying or their prior learning experiences. Also, remember that universities are big institutions, much bigger than the school or college you will have attended previously. Each cohort may include several hundred students, and you will be required to go to different buildings on campus as part of your studies. Now, this is completely normal for university life, so please do not worry. Within your cohort, your course, and the wider university, you will meet so many people from different backgrounds and cultures, so you will definitely learn more than just your course content. There are many more changes that you will experience as you transition to higher education, and you will certainly pick up many hints and tips throughout the course of today's event. I have put together a toolkit, which I am calling the Prawns Toolkit, to help you to tackle some of these changes to learning in higher education. There's some of you that dislike seafood or have an allergy. Please do not worry. No consumption of prawns is required. I hope that this simply helps you to think about how to prepare yourselves prior to commencing university. So what is the Prawns Toolkit? P is for plan your time. R is for requirements. A is to ask questions. W is for what do you want to achieve. N is for networking. And S is for skills development. I will now go through each of these briefly. Plan your time. You will no doubt have heard that university requires you to be independent and you need to plan your time well. I cannot stress this enough. You have to balance and plan your time around academic commitments, social plans, and your faith. It is crucial that you are able to achieve a work-life balance. There may be particular days or weeks that seem busier, and certain days or weeks that seem less busy. That is completely normal. By planning ahead, you can ensure that you are optimizing your time and prioritizing your wellness. When it comes to academic commitments, plan the learning which you will undertake outside of your designated sessions. Think about where you study best and what your learning environment looks like. For many of you, over this past academic year, you will have developed certain practices that have worked for you, such as studying first thing in the morning or studying in a particular room. At university, there will be many learning and study spaces available right across campus. So seek these out and discover what works best for you. You might find that you can study effectively in the library, whereas your friends opt to study in their halls of residence. That is fine. Everyone is different, and it is important that you plan your study time around working in a learning environment that suits you best. R is for requirements. It is really important to understand what is required of you whilst at university. It is likely that your timetable may change each week and you will be in different rooms and buildings. Having a campus map, particularly in the first few weeks, will help you to get around. For each module of study that you undertake, you'll be provided with the module handbook. Take care to read this, as it will include lots of useful information, such as when your assessments will take place for a particular module and what each assessment will involve. For most universities, there will be a requirement to check your student emails once a day. It is crucial that you do this, as you may be informed of last-minute room changes, or you may be informed if you need to bring something with you to a particular session. If you are on placement, there may be requirements for you to be there at a certain time, and there may also be as a designated uniform or dress code. So be sure to confirm this prior to commencing placement. Ask questions. Being part of a larger cohort, it may seem difficult to ask questions. However, there will be plenty of opportunities to ask questions, and you can always email a member of the course team if there is anything you are unsure of. You will be assigned a personal academic tutor, and you can ask them things too. Now, your personal academic tutor may not know the answer straight away, and that is okay. They will usually signpost you to the person or area where you can get the most support. Remember, universities are big organizations with dedicated departments for different areas to best support you. The Students' Union will also be able to support you, and each SU will usually have an advice centre which you can approach for general advice or advice relating to academic matters. What do you want to achieve? There is great scope at university to achieve more than just your degree. You can achieve so much more than just your degree certificate. Think about your work-life balance and consider what you want to have achieved at the end of your time at university. This may seem quite difficult, as your course may be 3, 4, or even 5 years long. But thinking about what you want to achieve from now may help you to plan accordingly to allow you to achieve your goals and ambitions. For example, do you wish to take up a sport or hobby? If so, how will you go about this? Have you thought about a summer internship or work experience scheme that you may have heard of and that you might be interested in? N is for networking. You will meet many, many people whilst at university, from students who you are living with, students on your course, and students that have been at university for several years and maybe onto their second or even third degree. You will also meet members of staff beyond the course team from different departments within the university. Each person you meet, just like you, will have their own story to tell. You will meet people who may have come from a different country and who may have a different culture to your own. You may even meet a few Smiley students at your university or a university nearby. Networking at university is so important. You'll be able to build your own support network and group of friends who you will share so many experiences with and make so many memories with too. From an academic viewpoint, many of the connections you make may benefit you later on, much to your surprise. Through your contacts, you may be able to secure work experience, paid work, summer internships, or even a job once you graduate. Remember that the Education Board can help you too by providing support with applications and access to the Bright Network, which provides numerous internship opportunities. S is for skills development. You will need to demonstrate a wealth of skills when you enter the job market. You will also develop skills throughout your degree, such as communication skills, presentation skills, and even research skills. Think about which skills you might want to develop at university, and you could even discuss these with your personal academic tutor and consider ways in which you will develop these. You will surprise yourself when you consider how many skills you have developed through the course of the pandemic. Just think about how many more skills you will develop across the next few years. Now that we have looked at some of the changes that you may experience in relation to learning and ways in which we can tackle these changes, you may wish to reflect on these points, perhaps later on today or at a different time before you begin your course, and consider how well equipped you are to thrive in higher education. If you remember just one thing from my presentation today, make the Prawns Toolkit that key takeaway. Whilst at university, remember to plan your time, understand the course requirements, Ask questions. Think about what you want to achieve whilst at university. Network and make a note of all the skills which you would like to develop and are developing during your time in higher education. Remember, you can always contact the ISN team or the Aga Khan Education Board at akeb@iiuk.org. I know that there is lots of exciting content planned for the remainder of the day, so I do hope that you enjoy what is coming up. Finally, I wish you all the greatest of success in your studies. Thank you for your time.